Hey everybody, Mac2Monster here. Back with Iron Man. This is for patch 1.31. I was actually working on this build before patch 1.31, but patch 1.31 really made this build so much better. And it's with one simple move, which was reducing the mana cost or spirit cost of Wrist Rocket from 20 to 10. Currently mine says 9.1 because I have spirit reduction gear. Doesn't matter too much because with Iron Man we get to take advantage of his restore 8 spirit per second ability with adaptive defenses. So this build is going back to Steel Rain. A little bit modified because of the way the skills are changed, but we are still using missiles for the most part as a means of killing, and we're also raining down some steel fists right here in the form of voltaic punch. I'm liking this skill more and more, with the only downfall, of course, of having to go into melee. So we're building him to back up the melee. My gear is based on a full ranged Iron Man, but I'll go over what gear really should be going on to him in a second. The build consists of the standard force shield. That should be your primary focus. Obviously, this is awesome. It's plus defense. It gives you extra hit points basically for a duration that it's active. You have to put 1 point into shield overload, and that's just fine because we also use this as a means of getting spirit back. You could use it as a weapon, especially at the level I'm at now. I think I'm 37 or something like that. It would do enough damage to kill off the white packs. And do a little damage to blues. Yellows and bosses probably wouldn't really see too much of an effect from it. And then, of course, adaptive defensives. No matter what build you're going with or how you decide, you really need the force shield and adaptive defenses to be worked into there. This is just awesome because it's regenerating shield regeneration, it's regenerating spirit, it's regenerating health, and it does damage when you're hit. It's just a massive, massive buff to you. You should know by now with the way things are going, hit points and hit point regeneration are god modes. So the more you have of that, the better off you are. And this is giving you some free ones right off the bat because basically your shield is hit points and your health is hit points. So you're kind of can combine that, and that's 140 health a second you're getting with 8 spirit. A lot of classes would kill for this ability right here without a shield, just for that regeneration. And then we're going to work our way to wrist rockets. This is the workhorse of the build. And the reason it works, especially with the spirit reduction, is the damage that it does. Even if the initial impact does not kill a white mob, the first tick of the dot will take them out. Blue mobs, a couple ticks later, they're dead. A couple hits later, they're dead. Yellow mobs you're going to treat just like any other time as a boss, and you fight it like a boss. And you're going to do that by moving over to the second workhorse, primary damage dealer to bosses, this voltaic punch. And it's not really primary, but it's a strong secondary. It's so close to the damage you're getting with wrist rockets, because when you're dealing with the boss, this has no spirit cost, so you're just left clicking. I have this on my left click. You're attacking the boss, punching it. You get a crit. You don't get plus critical damage. You get plus 43% damage on a critical hit. That is awesome. That is not modified by the coefficients that plus critical damage gets. So, you know, it's a massive, massive amount. Your crits are doing right here at rank 15 almost double damage. So that's 3,200 to 4,500 a hit. Your attack speed's 2.5 or 2.3 a second. So even if we round that down to twice a second, that's just phenomenal damage output. You are going to have a high crit rate. You have some crit advantages and buffs. And of course, with this, we're done Voltaic Punch. We're going to back ourselves up. I especially need this at this point because I don't have the correct gear for the build style. And if you're lacking health regen, this is an awesome ability. Deployable medic, 200. I put points into it, obviously. Lasts for 10 seconds and gives you 204 health per second. If you add in the fact that you're taking half damage, this is really giving you 408 health a second, as long as you're keeping up your force shield. That's why it's in my build, especially being a melee. You need that health regen, and that's where my gear fails, is it's all based on staying at range and getting spirit. You look, I got a massive amount of spirit. I can wrist rocket all day long with Jericho Bombardment, which is going to be the final build. This is used against bosses, yellows and blues mostly. Anything the wrist rocket's not really one or two shotting, I'll drop the bombardment on top of them as well. And it does a massive amount of extra damage for me. So with bosses, we're punching and keeping them in place because we're standing toe-to-toe with them. They're not chasing us any longer. Some of them are going to be running away from us, which will be a little bit of an issue, but we got a lot of dot damage going on. We got extra damage going on with the Jericho Bombardment, which does a wide AoE. This does a wide AoE, but you have to hit. So at range, it's a little tricky. You got to aim it. It flies pretty fast. If you miss, the spirit cost is now so minimalistic, it doesn't really matter. That's why it makes the build so much better, is that I just don't care if I miss. I can fire 38 missiles without ever regenerating anything. So, I mean, it's got to be a really bad day in X defense with 4 other people where I need 38 of these missiles. Of course, higher ranks, obviously, you will need 38 of those missiles. And there's a lot of one-pointers going on because there's so many skills Iron Man has that you just got to put a point in. Where you got 2 missile abilities, it would be crazy not to just put 1 point into this for 139 crit rating with missiles, and we get an activation chance to fire off a missile for a little bit of damage. We're not pumping points into this because the points per payout doesn't pay off. But we will get a higher rank. This will definitely be an option for a grants plus X amount of skill. So at higher levels, we'll be looking at, you know, plus 19, plus 20, and basically have this maxed out. A second one to max out or have plus rank. Well, actually, I should say this is the last one you're going to be looking for. Is System Reboot. You only need 1 point in it to get the defense rating. You only need 1 point in it to get the ability to come back to life once you die and stay invulnerable for 4 seconds. Crazy ability. Another ability, you gotta have at least 1 point in. I don't care what you're doing with your build. You should have that. I put a point in Jet Boot Flight just in case I want to move faster. Although half the time I forget I have it, but it's still only 1 point. I put a point in Arc Reactor Enhancement. That will be the 3rd skill that I'd actually be looking for a grants plus at. Just for the extra maximum spirit and the extra damage that you'll get. For the other primary you're looking for plus grants on is the One Of. It does pay out pretty well per rank, but it does so much damage already. It pretty much, at low rank, especially at the current level, wipes out white and blue and does phenomenal damage against yellow and boss. And you can do it every 30 seconds. It's not a primary skill because it's really hard to get that cooldown down. Even at 20, it just doesn't come down enough. You know, I really think they're doing something wrong with the cooldown on this one for some reason. Can't tell you why. But, you know, Thor gets to do God Blast every 6 seconds. And God Blast is easily 6 times this kind of damage. Although this damage is all around you and just about screen wide with my gear choices, which is of course an Edge of Infinity. Get that Brutal Strike up there, get some extra damage and some crit rating. And I'm using the Beta Particle Mini Reactor for the plus Spirit. If you're in any kind of group situation, reviving an ally an extra 50% will come in handy, but I'm primarily using it for the Spirit. And of course, a Dr. Octopus Medallion. Primary concern is that extra 20% radius for area powers, seeing how every single thing we do, including the Voltaic Punch, is an area power. The more you can hit with it, the better off you are. I've gone for crit rating. It's really the only positive choice I see, especially in the first 3 grades. Attack speed on grade 4 is okay, but it's just not a necessary attack speed. Crit rating is nice. The second choice you would have is fulfilling the tank role and going with plus health, and at level 60 with a core plus health, you can get about an extra 750 health out of it. Obviously, I don't have a core put in here. And then on gear, you really want, obviously, like I said, this is based on an old build, so I went for plus Spirit. You want plus hit points and hit point regen, and then any kind of defense, offense skill that you want. And you want grants the skills that we are one-pointing and using. You know, again on this is plus Spirit. I really would rather have plus hit points and plus hit point regen, but it's got a good chunk of dodge. I'm sitting at 314 dodge, which is pretty easy to get, and that's an 11% chance to dodge. I'm sitting at 218 crit. It's 15% chance to crit. And the Brutal, that's only a 3.7% chance, but you know, they're fun when they happen. I could consider it lost stats. Really, it's hit points, hit point regen, and then anything else you want. You can easily get hit point and hit point regen in these 2 pieces with no problem, and use these 2 pieces for your plus drop rarity. I actually want to turn and go for plus special item find, because I find more than enough splinters that, you know, at 60 I can just buy cosmics until I get a full set of cosmics, and then I can re-roll or continue buying if I don't got a cosmic I like and I have a lot of extra splinters hanging around. But it's kind of hard because that cosmic re-roll is 1,000,000 credits, so you have to have a lot of money to re-roll the cosmics. The way it is, but hey, you know, at least you run around in a 5-piece cosmic. And that's why I put 1 points into the skills, because if you do get any pluses to them on gear that you're just using for other pieces, at least that ability is carried out. And that's the build. And covered all the 1-pointers and everything. So now I'm just going to throw in some quick terminals. Let's see, I am level 37. Hey, I was smart. And we'll do Kingpin. That will be top green. It's been a while since I played them, so this iteration is a lot easier to play because there's a lot less buttons going on. Yeah, I just want to make sure you got your shield up. See, there's a yellow, and we'll get to see what the skills really get to do against it. I'll drop my health regen, drop the Jericho. As you can see, the yellow's just getting eaten up alive. It had no shot. This is just green, top tier green. I'll go with an orange. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong missile button. You can see you don't go wrong with hitting Jericho. You don't go wrong with hitting the missiles. If you're looking at my spirit is not going anywhere. There's a lot of blues coming, so I just do the AoE thing. And they get eaten up alive. That punch hits so hard. I'm just going to start punching some stuff so we can get a crit, hopefully. Plus crit wouldn't be a bad idea, especially with the voltaic punch, because it does so much extra damage. You can see 4,000 voltaic punch. That's kind of crazy. I just ate up a couple of yellows. This isn't even work. My health bar is not moving. My spirit bar is not moving. If you're thinking about Iron Man and like a range melee hybrid class, I would have to say second best. You know, Thor. It's hard to really beat him. But this is a lot more rangy and a lot less melee. So it's kind of the opposite of Thor, where melee is just a backup ability, and the way I play Thor anyways, you know, I God Blast everything to death, but the main workhorse is going berserk on a boss and doing Storm Strike. So if I don't want to punch anything, I don't have to. I just have to remember to target things. As you can see, I'm spamming these missiles. Regeneration is just enough to regenerate. I mean, every second I don't have to fire a missile, it's another missile I'm regenerating. An Edge of Infinity would be nice. I'd probably replace the what's it called? Beta particle rejector with that. You get a reduced spirit cost with the Edge of Infinity, so it would be quite similar to having plus spirit. And plus you get the extra crit and extra damage for AoE abilities. I'm actually trying to punch the blues, but some of them are dying faster than I can actually get the target to go to them. Yeah, that yellow had no chance. I didn't even have to go that hardcore on it. For the range with the missiles, the only downfall is you got to be accurate. But if you hit something with the Dr. Octopus medal, you know, it's such a wide area effect. You know, stuff around it's pretty much dead. I don't know if it shows the... Yeah, it doesn't really show the size. Hypervelocity charge gets you some movement speed. I kind of use it over jet boot flight, but if you actually die during a doom for some reason because you didn't hit your health regen or something, that flight makes it a much shorter run back. Oh, I took some health return gen, so I'm dropping everything I got on this guy. And he's just obliterated, basically. I don't know, though. I wasn't watching the health too much. He didn't have a shot, and I don't even have plus hit point, plus health regen gear on. You know, so you could easily go with more crit. Don't go with plus crit damage. Go with crit itself. Especially if you're using the punch, because ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that's a really nice one. 0.8% of the damage you deal converted into health. That's why it's a nice one. Although I prefer special item find. Like I said, I'm just buying my cosmics. I don't even look to find them anymore. Kind of sad. 18%. I'm not going to use that. Nope, that doesn't have the right stats. Deployable defense systems. Nope, that's not the right stats either. My spirit constant tech gadgets. It's not what I'm looking for. I am not finding hit point and regen gear for Iron Man. I don't even have any hiding. Although at 40, that would be nice to wear. Start converting to special item find. Yeah, it's got a lot of good bonuses. I guess we just stay drop rarity for this guy. In the slot, as usual, it's gonna be, where'd it go? Where is it? Oh, there it is. That really should be there. It would be the Relic of Lemuria. 20 health when you deal damage, plus health. It's got to be the most solid choice you can get. And I had to buy another tab. I didn't have to. I wanted to. So that's a good one. That drop rarity, special item. That's pretty good too. Energy projection. Costumes. Level 47, that sucks. This I could put in. Bonus intellect, I'll level faster. I don't think anybody actually uses alloys. I could do this, and then that would be higher. I think it will. I don't think I got anything to lose. This is just a temporary measure to get the extra buff. It is by far not the ideal because of the intellect. Durability would be ideal. Energy, that would work very well for you. There's a lot of energy going on here. I think these are all, yeah, energy. That's physical. Energy. So plus energy would put you at max energy. Something to strive for, I really think so. And with that, my crit rating did go up because I upped my level of the costume. Now I got a ton of 63% rare item find. Well, maybe I'll actually find something. Actually, what did my crit go? 21%. That up, just by putting that in there, I got 10% crit. That was worth it right there. So I'll take you through the orange Taskmaster. Oh crap! I'm on the wrong level. That's going to be a video edit. So let's do the right tier Taskmasters now. So if you're wondering why there's a video edit, I'm video editing me killing silly little gray stuff. I am so tired. Spent the last 5 days in the hospital with the wife. She's doing fine. Thanks for asking. A lot of people are. Don't really mean to drag personal life into anything, but stuff happens. Distracts you. So as you can see, this is killing more than enough at range. They're barely defeating my shield. This is orange, so it's going to take a hit or two, especially because I miss. I just don't take the time to precisely aim. Oh, look at this. This guy does everything right. The dot effect is just nuts. Stuff coming down at different times. I dropped the Jericho down just so I don't have to keep shooting at it. Let it kill the stuff spawning. So, as you can see, I'm basically doing it all range just so you guys could see that it's fully viable range build as well as a melee build. And I have cruddy health regen at the moment. And I'm just absorbing all that. I'm really letting the dot damage from Jericho kill off the blues. And then I'm trying to pick off everything else out there. Iron Man's kind of about, well, this build is kind of about targeting the right thing at the right time. So, my shield hasn't moved, nothing's happened. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to put down my health regen thing. I'm going to drop Jericho, hit him with the wrist rocket. I'll push wrist rocket, I don't know, every 3 or 4 punches, just to keep it up. Drop Jericho when it drops away. Put up the health regen thing when it goes away. Oh, the shield's gone, so replace the shield. And, yeah, I kind of consider that a pretty simplistic orange Taskmaster kill. Maybe I got a good medal. That Taskmaster medal is pretty wild, isn't it? A little bit of everything. Low health on this one, though. I like them better when they're high health. Higher attack speed. I guess if you like attack speed, you'd like that. So that's Iron Man, showing them off. 1.31 build. My Steel Rain. Well, it works quite well. I never even fired off the one of. I always had that available. Walk through orange Taskmaster. Obviously, I'm not going to do a red Doom or anything like that, but you get the idea of how the build works. You basically got a lot more range. I think you guys out in Midtown Madness or Mayhem there, you're going to like the range ability a lot better with this build than the one with channeled repulsors. Just because you're kind of spamming those channeled repulsors and they don't hit the AoE and do the burn the way Jericho and wrist rockets are doing the burn, and you can walk up and punch and stay alive and help other people alive, because this hits your allies too. People will love you with this build. It's really the one thing that you truly bring for a group is a lot of health regen. So, hope you enjoyed. Sorry about being so tired. First video edit I ever did. That is because I screwed up and I went to gray Taskmaster instead of orange Taskmaster. So I'm just editing it out of the video. If it's short enough, I'll just leave it in and tell you to skip it. But that's it. So I hope it helped. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.